Professor Jeff Goodman is back with a science experiment that will excite the mad scientist in you. Jeff teaches in the Wright College of Education building in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. I'm excited to see what he has in store for us. Jeff, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great as well, thank you.
Ready for Halloween, right?
Yes. So I hear you're very passionate about science and experiments, and you brought something for us today, correct?
Well, the thing is, like, Halloween is perfect, but actually any day is perfect for science, but Halloween especially. Think about it. You've got the science of pumpkins, and you have the nighttime, the idea of the darkness, and then the moon's going to be coming up, right? It's going to be a big full moon. Well, what I'm going to show you now has to do with the core idea behind life itself.
Haunting.
Seriously. Okay. So what I want to do to get started here is to just show you this. I've got
you have a friend
here, yeah, and is in a lot of trouble from his trip over here. Yeah. What makes him not alive? How do you know that this guy's not alive?
Because he's just bones, and that's the definition of death.
Yeah. Well, and he's not, or she. I don't know for sure. I have to check the pelvis. But the this skeleton is not animate. And to animate something is to make it come alive, right?
Right.
Well, one of the things that makes us animate is that we have a nervous system, and our nervous system functions on electricity. Okay. I want you to take a look at this. I'm gonna show you first of all. This is a little Tesla coil. Okay. Handheld. It's actually called an Uden coil, but it's like a Tesla coil. And it will produce a very, very high frequency, high voltage current that, in this case, is going to illuminate this bulb. And go ahead and turn the lights down a little bit, and you'll all be able to see those. Okay, see that. So what I'm doing here is I'm sending electrons through the air. You see the lightning there? That's a little bit like the electricity that flows through our nervous system. Our nervous system is an electrochemical impulse, but this is kind of similar. Now, in a lot of the old movies, you would have seen, they animate Frankenstein, right? By getting his nervous system set up by giving him a spark, right? So. Right?
Wow.
Now, of course, we don't have anything to animate here because we don't have any organs, and I don't think anybody at this point has really been able to animate inanimate life, although they do think that that is how the first biological molecules formed when there was lightning through the atmosphere at the beginning of our time on Earth, the time of life on Earth, early in the Earth's evolution. Okay, so we've got the sparker, right?
Right.
Makes a spark.
Okay.
Called an Uden coil. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at my Frankenstein model. Okay. Okay. So here's Frankenstein.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to need to put more inside him. He can't be empty like our skeleton. We're going to give him we're going to go ahead and give him some Everclear, some alcohol.
All right.
Now, alcohol, when I teach this to my students and to young kids, I always talk about this is yeast pea. For real.
Interesting.
Look what's on there. What?
It's a corn.
Corn, right? So yeast eat corn, and then they pee out alcohol. Anytime you see somebody, drinking a beer, or you're drinking bourbon or whatever, it's yeast pee. Yeah, it's a good thing to know, right?
Perfect. So this is
essentially yeast pee or alcohol.
Great,
okay.
great.
And I'm going to put some inside my Frankenstein model
Is this his body here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna get him going here, and this is gonna get capped off with his head.
Okay.
Okay. Like so. Now, before I do this, we got to do some safety stuff. Okay. So if you'll get that heavy plexiglass shield there, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this stool. You're gonna put that. Oh, the stool came off the top here, but.
Wow, this is very heavy duty.
Yeah. Yeah. Our high neighbor stool is in need of some repair. There we go. Okay. So we're getting him set up like so, and we ought to get some goggles on. Here's some for you.
Thank you, sir.
And I usually do this experiment with some extra safety because I'm going to be closer. Okay. Get my goggles on here. Okay. I got to get it down, don't I? Okay, you help me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so now we're all set. Okay, so now remember, I have some yeast pea in here.
Right.
The energy originally came from the sun. Sun to the corn, remember?
Right.
So sun to corn, corn to yeast, yeast to yeast pea. We've got energy stored in here. We just need to animate it by passing a spark.
Do I need to stand further back?
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're going to pass a spark through this system. It's going to go from bolt to bolt inside.
Oh, gosh.
Now, okay, I'm safe. I think I'll take off my monster mask. Now, you okay? All right.
All right.
Now, let's talk about what just happened.
Yes, let's talk.
Okay. So I'm going to take the stool down just for a moment, okay?
Okay, perfect.
And go ahead and why don't you take that out of the way.
Wow. I'm really happy we had the safety precautions.
Yeah. Now, what did you notice?
I noticed a lot of blue flame and an
Oh.
explosion.
Okay, so blue flame, explosion, sound energy,
Yes.
light energy, heat energy. You can even see that sometimes it melts the top
Yeah.
of this a little bit, right?
Yes.
I have my fire extinguisher over there if we have any trouble. So now, where'd that energy come from?
The electricity.
Well, the electricity got it released, but where did it start? I'll give you a hint.
Yeast pea.
Ah, very good. And where'd the yeast get the energy from?
The corn.
And where'd the corn get the energy from?
sun.
The sun. So it's sun to corn to yeast and yeast to yeast pea and yeast pea into my Frankenstein model. This is actually the model not of Frankenstein. When I do this on any day other than Halloween, I say this is the model of something that you have used probably today, and you've definitely seen it used. What do you think? Let's see. Something in the modern world that operates on this principle. It involves explosions, and you've seen thousands of these explosions already today.
Already today?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Exactly. See, now this is what's amazing about science. It's around us all the time, but we don't know to look for it. So you've actually seen thousands of explosions that this is modeling.
Really?
Yep. And let's think it through. A spark. Where's a spark? Where might you have seen alcohol? Have you ever gone to the gas station and you go and it says 10% ethanol or may contain
Sure.
alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So may contain 10% ethanol. That's yeast pea. Actually, I want to get stickers to put on all the gas pumps that say, it may contain 10% yeast pea, right? So this is a kind of energy source, just like gasoline or a mixture of gasoline and alcohol, which is what you put in your car. So what part of your car might this represent? Well, where's there a spark in your car?
In your engine.
Yeah,
right?
spark plug.
Wow.
This is a spark plug.
Ooh.
This is the equivalent of a piston, and it's connected to a crankshaft, and that's what turns the engine. It happens thousands of times a minute inside the engine
Wow.
of your car. That's what runs your car. This is what we just showed.
How
Okay.
exciting.
Now, a lot of people want me to do this again, and let's just go ahead and put our goggles on just for a second. I'm not
Okay.
going to use the other apparatus, and you'll see why.
Okay.
Okay. So people often say, "Hey, do it again, and I try it again, and it doesn't work.
It isn't.
Why wouldn't it work the second time? Well, let's look. Is there still yeast pea in there? Sure.
Yes.
There's still plenty in there, right? There's still plenty of alcohol in there. What else do you need for an explosion? You need energy source like gasoline or alcohol, and you need the spark to get it started. But you also need, take a deep breath. What'd you just breathe in? What gas do you need? Oxygen. You need oxygen to burn your food, or in this case, for this to burn the yeast pea, it needs oxygen, and I've burned all the oxygen in there.
Oh.
So unless I have an air intake, which is what your car has, I won't have any oxygen in there. Right now, I could kind of blow it out and eventually get enough oxygen in there
Okay.
to make it work, but it won't work a second time until
Wow.
there's enough oxygen. And that's why you need to keep a clean air filter in your car to get good oxygen into your engine.
How exciting. Wow. I didn't know such a simple experiment could have so many aspects to it.
Yeah, and if we're talking about climate change, you have to understand something like this
Sure.
to be able to debate issues of the carbon that's inside gasoline. You have to understand things. Science, at its core, is our connection to the physical world and our connection to one another and our world. And we need to be passionate about it, I think, if we're
I
gonna.
can tell you are.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for coming on the show today. It was such a pleasure.
All right.
And I'm glad we are both unharmed.
Yep.
For sure.
All right.
I had a great time participating in some time-honored Halloween traditions. From pumpkin carving to science, I've seen that Halloween is not just all about candy and costumes. I hope you had a wicked good time following along. And if you want to see more Hi Neighbor content and extras, check out our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AppTV. I'm Juliet DiOrienzo, and until next time, bye neighbors!